Welcome, travelers, to another mini episode of the Time Travel Trio podcast. I'm Jen.
I'm Hyde.
And I'm Matt.
And we're
The
Time
Time
Travel
Travel
Trio.
Mm,
I like it.
I like it. It's growing on me.
It's growing. It's been a few times now. So
It's popping
today,
up.
today we're going to discuss, we will get to 13 going on 30, but first, which is a movie, I guess, that I chose for today. And we're doing a mini episode on it because it's not technically time travel, but it's time.
It technically is, but it's not enough
related.
to fill a
It's
full
more-
episode.
It's more
Yeah.
like Days of Future Past, where her consciousness kind of jumps. I don't
She
know.
does do a little bit of time travel. We'll get into it, but yeah, it's not enough to warrant an hour.
And
long
a whole episode.
Yeah.
So, I also wanted to do. I had like a total light bulb idea that I wanted to do this game
Okay.
with you guys. So, the idea was that all these movies, you know, they're all time travel movies. So a lot of their taglines are really similar, like you travel through time to get to the future. You know, whatever
Right.
the dumb thing is.
What would you do if you could change your past? Yeah.
So they're like really vague, and I thought, wouldn't it be funny if I try and quiz you guys on the movies that we've done so far? So we've done 15 or so. So I have 15 movies and their taglines, and see if you guys can guess which of our movies it is,
Ooh.
without looking at a list of the movies we've done.
Yeah, this is all.
And they're
together.
not in order of, you know, what we reviewed them in or anything like that. So, and this, obviously, you guys at home can also play and see if you can guess. Although you guys, I'm not against cheating if you want to look at like our SoundCloud and see the list of movies we did. But you guys, you should know. So, we'll start easy. Live, Die, Repeat.
Oh, Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of
Obviously.
Tomorrow,
Edge of Tomorrow. Yeah.
Second title for the film, basically.
Yeah. And was the only tagline, so I couldn't like trick you. Some of these do have multiple taglines, so I tried to pick ones that were either a little bit more vague or a little bit harder to guess. Okay, the next one.
Yeah.
The Future Begins.
Is that the Time Machine?
No.
Future Begins. Back to the Future?
Nope.
Oh.
Star Trek.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Okay.
It's a reboot.
That's actually a pretty good one, actually.
That's a good one, right?
Okay.
I liked that. Because it's a reboot, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. This was another easy one, but he was never in time for his classes. He wasn't in time for his dinner. Then
Yeah.
one day he wasn't in his time at all.
Yeah, Back to the
Obviously,
Future one.
It was Back to the Future.
That's a good
Yeah.
one. Classic.
Because we talked about, I talked about that when we did that episode. He'll have to find the answers in time.
I'm
What do you think?
trying to get the movies that we've done before.
Is
Like,
it
first guess.
Time Crimes?
Nope.
No.
Oh, I should preface by saying Time Traveler's Wife is not on here because for some reason that movie did not have a tagline. So,
I think we talked about
yeah.
this, and I said that the perfect timeline would be love brought them together, time put them apart.
yes, I liked that. So, okay, make
Pod-
your guesses. He'll have to find the answers in time. Dot,
Bill and
dot,
Ted's
dot.
Excellent Adventure?
No, it's
The
dot,
time-
dot, dot
the-
in time.
The Time Machine?
The clue is actually in time. It's Men in Black 3. I think it's like the
Ah.
song, the typical song.
Yeah.
We gotta go back.
Yeah, it's he, so I knew it was like one person.
So these are kind of hard, right?
These are
Yeah.
hard.
Harder than you thought they would be.
I wonder if someone at home is doing better than we are.
If you're doing better than these fools, then let us know.
Like,
Yeah, let's
from what they
hit us
know,
up.
if you're doing podcasts and you listen to one, you always know the answer that people that are on
Yeah,
it
right.
don't know. You're always like, it's obviously this.
It's the pressure, yeah.
These
Yeah.
amateur rookies.
Okay, here's the next one. Getting back was only the beginning.
Back to Future Part 2.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
The time has come. This one's very vague.
The time has come.
There is a few of this from this movie. This one was the most vague, so that's why I chose it. Because I wanted to make it hard for you guys. I don't know if I would guess this.
Harry Potter?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, nice. Good job, Matt.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess it just kind of made sense because, like, I don't know. It can be vague because it's Harry Potter, you know?
Yeah.
Right, like, oh, I don't know, Lord Voldemort?
Yeah.
Right, yeah, it could be.
He's
The time
dead.
has come.
Yeah. Okay. It's a short trip from zero to hero.
Minutemen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one is almost like they kind of took from Hercules.
Well, there's
Zero
also
to
a
hero.
line in the movie, I think, or in the trailer that I...
Yeah, they did.
Oh,
They say it in
yeah.
the movie right before they go
Right.
into the wormhole. They're like,
Right.
it's time to go from 0 to hero.
Yeah.
Thanks, little kid. If you die, can I get your stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Thanks, little
Sure.
sister.
Yeah. Okay. To save the future, he must reshape the past.
Time machine?
Nope.
Um,
Do you want me to tell you?
Is it about time?
Nope. What's your guess?
Time Traveler's Wife?
Nope. It's
Nope.
predestination.
Oh,
Huh.
really?
Yeah.
There's. No, I'm not gonna make that joke.
Reshape.
Yeah, I was like, never mind. That's
Nope.
insensitive.
Well, his
I don't
face
wanna-
was reshaped.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. I didn't want people to think it was being making light. I know there's a lot,
Yeah.
a lot of serious issues going on in the
Yeah.
transgender community. I
Yes.
didn't make light of it.
Okay. This one I think is pretty easy. A new funny film about love with a bit of time travel.
It's got to be about time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. This one I think is pretty hard. The present can change the past. The present can change the
Is
past.
that Project Almanac?
Nope. Take a guess.
The Time Machine.
It's still not the time
I'm
machine.
going to keep going back to that one.
Eventually
Actually,
we'll-
I think I know the Time Machine's tagline, and it's actually very mundane.
Oh, yeah, it's like, where would you go? Whatever.
Yeah.
Well, there's multiple for some of these, so
Okay.
that one was Time Crimes.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah, the present. That's the key. The present
Yeah.
can change the past. Okay, today is better the second time around.
That's Project Almanac.
Yeah, that's Project Almanac.
I mean, I guess.
Well, yeah, I think you brought it up in the episode, how
Yeah.
dumb it was.
Mm-hmm.
And it used to be called, like Yesteryear or something? Like Escape to
Oh,
Yesteryear?
yeah. Zach told us, right?
Yeah, something like
Escape from yesterday or something like that.
that. Yeah.
Okay, face your future, fight your past.
Looper.
Oh, of course. I was like, trying to think, like,
Yeah.
what movie had, like, someone fought their
Right,
past
yeah.
self?
Okay, there's only two more. The funniest comedy in the history of history.
Bill and Ted.
Bill and
Yeah,
Ted,
Bill
yeah.
and Ted. And you already know what this is.
Yeah.
But he was searching for the answer to his past. He became a hero for the future.
Yeah.
The Time Machine.
The
The
I
time
like
machine.
that's
Yeah.
somehow lamer than the actual one they use. Which is
Isn't
like,
it? That's why I
if
was
you,
like,
where would you go?
Yeah, that was on the poster.
Yeah, where would you go? I mean, because that's
yeah,
at least like
that one was pretty dumb.
at least with the Time Machine, where would you go? You could like start talking to your family, like, where would you go if you could time travel?
Yeah.
And this one, they're like, apparently nowhere. Apparently, just like
Yeah.
destroyed New York. That's all you get to go with this Time Machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. Was that fun?
That was
No, it's
fun.
It's like harder than you thought.
It
would
was
be.
harder than I thought.
If you guys did better than us, please hit us up on Facebook.
Yeah, tell us how
Twitter.
many you got correct. Okay, so let's get into 13 going on 30. This is one of those fun movies that you look back on and think, wow, that's an enjoyable movie that I really liked. But when I watched it this time, kind of left a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth
It's a little-
sometimes.
It's a little dated with gender roles.
It's a little bit, it's very dated with the gender roles. I like that they were executives, but it was still kind of like, the man is the boss.
Right.
But if he's gay or not, it doesn't matter.
The man's
He's
the boss, and
and
women will always backstab each
Yeah,
other.
very backstabby,
Yes,
very
backstabby.
very, cheating on people. Like they
Yes.
don't
Yeah,
even-
that was
they
my
don't even
biggest. That was my biggest thing that kind of left a bad taste in my mouth is the adultery.
Yeah, both on the negative and the positive side, quote unquote. They try to have it both ways with adultery in this movie. They'll say like adultery's bad, but then they also say, but only if it's not true love.
care. Or
Yeah,
you have a
which
high
is
school crush that you got over
so
17 years ago.
Absurd.
Right.
Like, because she commits adultery with the married guy, with
Yes.
the guy at the office too.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
that,
That
that was her old self.
That's her evil
Yeah,
self.
but it's still her, and they
Yeah.
still, it doesn't excuse it.
But also, when she's her 13-year-old self and her 30-year-old mind, she still kisses Mark Ruffalo and doesn't think oh, this is bad. I'm letting you cheat on your fiance with me.
Yeah,
Apparently, all those years didn't make much of a difference in her
Get
moral
over it,
compass.
yeah.
In 17 years.
So let's play the trailer.
Jenna Rink couldn't grow up fast enough.
Smile, sweetie.
Don't you knock?
Are you wearing a bra?
You're not ready
Dad,
for
stop
a bra.
taping!
So on her 13th birthday,
Check this out. Wishing dust.
she only made one wish.
I hate being 13. I just want to be grown up.
And she woke up 17 years later.
Hey, sweet Bob.
You're naked.
Well, not yet.
Something really freaky is happening here. I slept in an apartment I've never seen before. There was a naked man in my shower, and I saw his... Oh. Gross.
Now she's got a lot of catching up to do.
Repeat after me. I am Jenna Rank, Big Time Magazine editor. I am?
Eminem's on the phone. He wants a decision now. Please. Peanut. Is there anything else you need from me? Actually, I need to find this guy. Matt, it's me.
Jenna, why are you here?
Yesterday was my 13th birthday, and today I woke up and I'm this. There's something really weird going on.
One woman will discover
I like your dress. It's because they've got these incredible boobs to fill it out.
she's truly a kid at heart.
It's 11 o'clock on a school night and I'm at a party. It's so cool. It's 11 o'clock and people are leaving. Maybe if somebody played something other than this.
Honey, play whatever you want to.
Maddie, it's Thriller!
Revolution Studios presents.
You want to know a secret?
Yeah.
You're the sweetest guy I've ever known.
And I just floated home on a cloud.
That is so romantic.
Jennifer Garner, Mark Ruffalo. 13, going on 30.
Mr. Hottie behind you is totally scamming on you. Should I go talk to him? I actually came over here because I think you're really cute.
So do you want to go out sometime?
We're gonna take off now.
What, do you want to go to jail? I'm a bad guy.
Man, gross.
It's a funny trailer. They definitely skip over the whole, yeah, she kind of commits adultery. And
Right.
whatever.
I mean, that's something that you can jam pack into it.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, but I had a revelation after watching this movie that I had never thought about before. The main characters are Jenna and Matt.
Yeah.
I know, it blew my mind too.
Matt and Jen.
Yeah, Jen. Yeah.
No, I mean, the
Funny.
movie actually, other than that weird, unnecessary thing that, like, I get that the fact that Matt would be getting engaged to show that he's moving on, but this happens in so many movies. It's like they always have to find, like, either, like, this, like, no, we're gonna, like, have, like, this, like, really, like, seedy, like steamy night, or it just turns out that the person, like, has been cheating on the other person forever. They do that. It's such, like, an easy trope. There are some movies that don't do this, and I'm going to give them credit for. Spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen the Patrick Dempsey film Maid of Honor.
First of all, you've seen that movie.
Yes, I have.
All
And let me
right.
say, I give it kudos for being one of the very few romantic comedies that just has the woman, Michelle Monaghan, and the guy she's about to marry, they find out they just don't work together. There's no, I cheated on you, I'm a terrible person, and I'm, like, gonna, like, kill your father. It's just like, you know what, we used to do better single. And you know what, I can tell you like Patrick Dempsey a little bit more.
Yeah, there's a handful of other movies like that, but definitely a majority. Like, even something like My Best Friend's Wedding is, you know,
Like, out of left field.
flirts with that, and it's too much. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it's like, you know, these people, if you imagine them in your normal everyday life, if you have this friend who's engaged, suddenly their high school, not even high school crush, like freshman year crush, comes back into life and they suddenly fall in love with them. You're like, that person is just, that's a psycho person. They're engaged and they like kiss this, you know, obviously there's time travel involved, but still, like, Mark Ruffalo's character just forgets about his fiance almost and just like, oh, I love this girl again. It's been 17 years.
Right.
Yeah, it's weird.
People generally move on from those sort of things.
After 17 years. That's a long time. So the time, quote unquote, time travel in this movie is that Matt on Jenna's 13th birthday, Matt gives Jenna some wishing dust, and
He builds her a dream house.
I mean, we don't need to get into super detail,
Right.
but basically he gives her
sprinkles on the dream house.
he gives her wishing dust, and she wishes that she was 30 because she was looking at some magazine or whatever. And then she wakes up and she's 30-year-old Jennifer Garner
Right.
in this really nice apartment, and I'm like shocked. I wish I could have a nice apartment. like this when I'm
2004,
30.
the publishing industry was still pretty strong.
That's true. Okay, that's fair. And so the last thing she remembers is being 13, and so she tries to catch up and figure out what her life is. for the past 17 years.
Yeah, and we find out that she's been a bitch, she's been mean,
She's-
she's been deceptive, cheating on people.
Because what a
screwed people at
13-year-old
work.
girl wants is to be popular,
Right.
no matter what. And so that's the way that her life went, because it kind of felt, it's like Click, I think.
Yeah,
it's-
autopilot.
Yeah,
Like
the-
on auto, like being
yeah,
on
she was in
autopilot.
bitch autopilot as opposed to
She was.
boring autopilot.
Judy
Right.
Greer was really taking her hand on being a bitch. So.
Right.
Yeah, we find out from Mark Ruffalo's character that from that day forward, she became a popular girl. She was like the leader of the popular girls.
She was like prom queen.
Yeah,
and
prom queen.
Yeah. Which doesn't make sense with who her character was. But,
Yeah, I don't see how her
yeah.
nerdy self would have gotten to be the leader of the popular girls.
Or why Judy Greer's younger character would have let them join, just because she saw her be mean to Matt.
Yeah,
I
That
felt
didn't
like
make
it was
any
a
sense.
stretch. I thought it was a stretch that they would be that good of friends for 17 years.
The only thing I could think of with it was like it was kind of like Judy Greer could see the potential in this nerd to become a powerful person, and it was kind of like Emperor Palpatine, just like yes, good, let the evil grow
Let it
through.
go. She's Emperor Palpatine. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
I mean, I guess from Judy Greer's character's standpoint, if she's friends with her, she'll do her homework more. I guess
Right.
because she's smart.
Yeah, and then maybe she genuinely does like Jenna, because it seems like she likes Jenna until Jenna wakes up,
Yeah,
quote unquote. And because she makes a comment to one of the other girls at work, like, "What's up with her lately? She's the worst
Right.
now."
Yeah.
And she used to be exactly like Judy Greer. I can't what the hell is her character's name?
So on the magic dust note,
I think it's Lucy.
Lucy. Thank you.
On the magic dust note, I think at first it could technically be perceived like I like to think of the first time like she went from 13 to 30. Maybe the dust made her go bitch mode, and then I wiped her memory at 30. So technically, she might have even time traveled. Really, it's like she like kind of blacked out in bitch mode, and then woke up at 30 with like a 13-year-old mind.
Yeah.
But then later on, she does time travel back in the past to when she's 13 again.
I just think it also doesn't make sense that even when she wakes up and she's 30 and she's like, why am I such a terrible person and this is awful, that she wouldn't have, even on autopilot, her personality wouldn't have become bitch, I think.
That's what I think the magic dust.
That's the magic dust.
The magic dust.
It's kind of like the Family Man meets like Big almost. It's like you have like this kid who just she's like in this grown person's body and doesn't know how to interact, and also like the Family Man like you literally made like one decision and then that affected everything.
Which
pretty much.
in this case, I don't think is extreme enough. If he, as he says, he's always been in love with her.
Which is,
I mean,
dude. I mean, she does grow up to be Jennifer Gardner, but still.
But he hasn't seen her since she was like 18 or 15 or 16 or whatever.
Right.
He recognizes her though, so maybe he just is a creepy stalker photographer.
But she's also like a major publisher, and you live in the same city. I mean, there's no way. Even friends I haven't seen in a long time, there's no way I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, that's right. I went to high school with that guy.
That's true. He probably could have seen her, but she was in bitch mode before she woke up, so she wouldn't have pretended like she knew who he was.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
which is weird because you're also pretending like this goofy kid who has great spatial awareness with that dream house he builds.
Yeah, right?
Also, he grows into Mark Ruffalo, who is quite attractive. It's like, yeah, look at this guy. Yeah, he was a nerd. He built me a dream house, and now he looks like Mark Ruffalo. So F that guy.
I mean, yeah, but even the kid version of him was killing it too. He had the dance moves. He was funny.
Yeah, kid version of him is so cute.
Yeah.
This is definitely one of my favorite Mark Ruffalo movies because his character is pretty. Other than the fact that he cheats on his fiance, you know,
he kisses Jennifer Garner once, which does constitute cheating.
That's cheating.
Yeah.
Right.
And he spends a lot of time with her. Like, if we were engaged and you were spending that much time with another girl, whether it was work related or not, I'd be like, excuse me.
Yeah, that was clearly more than work related. They
Yeah.
like he in that week that they were working together, he was clearly already falling for her again. Like, obviously, he was like dancing with her and dipping her with her dancing and all that stuff.
Yeah, he did not hold back on his feelings.
No.
Which I think is an issue.
Like when his fiance came home, he was disappointed to see it was her and not Jennifer Garner.
Like that's
he was like,
cold, man.
Oh, it's you.
Other person who I've spent
girl
years building.
Who Wolverine? She was in the Wolverine.
Yes.
What's her name?
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's a girl who. Yeah.
His wolf woman.
Yeah, the woman
What the
who
hell her name was.
so she can like control minds.
Yeah, she's their feelings or something.
Yeah.
She could like emote.
Yeah. Can we also talk about the fact that Andy Serkis
Is in this movie.
The CGI work they did for his character was so realistic. Like his dance moves while he was doing Thriller was like real, like super realistic. His
Funny.
yeah.
That's funny jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was great. Judy Greer is always good.
I love
She
Judy
is.
Greer.
She's always good.
I love her.
She was in like everyone's talking about how she's like in all these big. She was in Ant-Man last year and Jurassic World, but like as like a side character. She's in these huge movies.
She's talented.
Yeah, she's
she
hilarious.
needs to do stuff. Of course, Brie Larson is in this movie.
Right.
Academy Award
Future
winner.
Academy Award winner
Yeah.
Brie Larson. A lot of the future Academy Award nominees and winners in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brie Larson is one of the 6 chicks who
She
is
has-
no lines.
Yeah, she has one. No, she has one line.
In the party or whatever.
No, it's at the very beginning when they're at the high school. And I don't know. She makes some comment to Tom Tom of like one of those off.
Right.
It's like, yeah,
like,
you did.
I'm going to
So-
my room.
Yeah, no, it was,
Walks
Tom
away.
Tom was like, oh, we're going this, and she's like, I didn't know we were doing that, or something like that. I don't remember what it was. Brie Larson, if you're listening, please send us what your line was in this movie.
Oh, also Jim Gaffigan was in it too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
As the schlubified version of her prom keen.
Yeah,
He
which was
became
pretty funny.
A taxi driver.
He was pretty funny in that.
Yeah.
Susan Egan, who did the voice of Megara, she's in this movie.
That's exciting.
At least I believe that's Susan Egan who did the voice of Megara. Well,
In Hercules?
yeah. Meg.
Yep.
There she is.
Yeah, she's in it.
Cool.
I want to talk more about the time travel.
Okay.
Because she does time travel. Okay, so after
Oh yeah,
Mark,
right. Okay,
Mark,
so
Mark
Mark
Ruffalo is going to get married.
he's gonna get married at his parents' house for some weird reason,
Yeah,
and he obviously lives next door to Jennifer Garner. That's why they're friends.
Yeah.
And
He rebuilt the house that she threw at him when she became bitch mode.
I didn't necessarily think it was he rebuilt it.
Well, yeah, she threw it at him and smashed it. Like, or
he
at least,
didn't say smashed.
Okay,
Trust me, I would have remembered if Mark Ruffalo had said smashed. And
That's
that wasn't
true.
the whole- But
good point.
But he says that she threw it at him with impressive force. That doesn't necessarily mean that
Okay.
it would get destroyed.
Okay, well,
I
then
kind of
just
thought
kind
it, that like maybe some stuff fell over and he probably picked it back up
All right.
because he kept it in his
I
closet
mean,
for 30 years. So
I would. He spent a
20.
lot of time on that dollhouse. I would keep it. I mean, I would have given it away at
course,
this
yeah.
point. I mean, it would probably have been
it's a little creepy that he still has it as a 30-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like
It's pretty big.
That goes to someone in college when you're like ready to like get over her. You're like, hey, you want this dollhouse? Or you give it to like a kid, like you really want to like just like, hey, your little niece or whatever, cousin, here's a dollhouse I built. You built this for me. I built it for you.
Yeah, you would keep it for like your daughter of the woman you married who wasn't the girl that you built it for.
Yeah, that would
but-
be weird.
But my problem is when he gets it back to Jennifer Garner, there's still magic dust on it after 30 years.
It's a movie.
I know, but like when she's carrying it, you don't see it. But
That's
then
why
she
I
like
think
makes a
that he
wish.
didn't. That's why I assume that he didn't fix it up or anything. She threw it at him. Maybe he grabbed it and like put it back up, and who knows
But,
where it was like lodged
like,
in.
In the second shot when she travels back in time, the dust flies away in the wind. If she threw it at him, it probably would have fallen off.
I mean, there's a lot of dust
All right.
that came off. I think that's nitpicking.
But anyway, so she does try to travel back. Okay, so the first time we see her become 30,
Yeah.
she's crying in the closet. She then is transported. Matt enters the closet. She turns him down. She goes back to the closet. Then she goes to the future. Then she goes back in time to before Matt enters the closet
as a 13-year-old.
as a 13-year-old. So now she knows to do them differently. So she changes it, and instead of turning him down, opens the door and kisses him on the lips before he even like opens the door.
And then they walk out. She grabs his hand. They run out. She disses Tom Tom and ruins that friendship forever. Thank God.
Yeah.
And grabs Matt's hand and runs out the door. And when they run out, they're married.
But
They're,
I think
like, in their wedding clothes.
that's a cut too though. That's not a travel to the future.
I assume I've always thought that she just wanted to fix it between them, so she just fixed that and then knew that when she went back to being 30 that
No,
they would be married.
I think she lived out her. I think they lived from 13 to 30. I think that was a cut too.
I don't think she would have relived being 13 after being 30.
What,
Honestly.
so you think they just went upstairs and somehow traveled to the future again?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Because
think,
that'd be,
I think she wished that she could have fixed that situation and then fixed it and then went out and it was
Oh, okay, so that's
back
a
to
wish.
her present day.
Okay, I see.
We
I
don't
see
know what
what
her
you
wish
mean.
is, but yeah, I've always assumed that
okay.
oh, so she goes back and says, "I wish I could have kissed him instead of that."
I wish
and that's
that I
all
could
she
have
has to do.
fixed. No, yeah, because that's clearly what she wishes that she could change. Is
Oh,
that
I never
she
thought
would
of it that
fix
way.
that
Yeah.
situation
See,
so
I-
that she doesn't ruin her friendship with
Yeah.
Matt.
See,
Why would she go back and relive being a teenager again after being 30?
Well, because she was still 13 in her mind, and so she had to still grow up. And I thought it was just they then ran upstairs and had the rest of their life to be together, and then just got married eventually.
I think both answers work, but I never even honestly, I never thought of Jen's answer.
I always thought
I
it
always
was
assumed Matt's.
Yeah,
Because it didn't feel like enough of a cut for me to think that it was 17 years passing in between those two events.
Well,
It is at the same house.
It is at the same house.
it was.
Why
also,
would she get married at her parents' house?
Low cost.
They wanted a backyard wedding, I guess. I don't know.
And then-
Chapels are
I
expensive.
don't think low cost is an issue. Did you see that freaking house that they bought? The giant, gross pink house that they got? It's
Yeah.
humongous.
Pink pops. It pops. All the other houses are white. It pops.
It looks like your dollhouse I made you.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I just think in the rules of the time travel of this movie that there's no other magic dust to.
No, but when she's she wakes up and she's where she wants to be. She wants to fix the situation so she can be married to Mark Ruffalo. She fixes the situation, walks out of the door, and then she's married to Mark Ruffalo.
I know, but I just think from a character perspective, wouldn't she want to have all those years like in
No.
her memory? Because when she travels, she forgets everything. So like,
I mean, I don't know. I don't think that's...
She can go. I mean, it's gonna be weird. She's gonna be walking around like getting the hots for like 14-year-old boys skateboarding by.
I think it would be weird because she knows that she wants to end up with him. It would be weird to live your life as... Yeah,
I mean,
mentally,
Tom Hanks does it in Big. He goes
Mentally,
back to being a
she's-
kid.
she was still
True.
be 13.
mentally she's
If
13.
that's the case.
I guess, but she's accustomed. The whole movie is her growing up and being 30 and
Yeah,
being
but
an adult.
she's still grossed out by sex and kissing is still kind of weird to her.
I disagree. I think that she's a different person now because she changed that event in the past. So it's not necessarily that kissing grosses her out now. She's already kissed Matt at 13. They're probably going to be together forever. So I don't know. But then why
I'm
would they
interested-
wait till they're 30 to get married at that point?
I don't know.
That is a good point. I don't know. I want to hear people's theories on this.
Yeah, this is very obviously controversial.
Right.
Um,
I wonder if there's like a director's commentary or something that could like reveal.
yeah.
I
reveal what happened.
I had never thought about. I mean, I guess I was curious. Like, would she have gone back and lived her life again? But
Yeah, for me, it was like she wished that she could go back to 13, fix it, and then she did, and now she's going to be normal again.
yeah, I mean, I guess we don't really know because it just cuts to that. So we don't know if it's in real time or if it's a
Yeah.
cut to the future.
I'm just saying, we didn't see a third wish.
I don't necessarily think it has to be a third wish.
Right,
I
yeah,
think it could
if it's the same
a
second
combined wish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it is, that's the reason why I see what you're saying, because if it's the same, the second wish is go back and fix it and then go back to 30, then yeah.
Because if I was her in that situation, which God help me if I was, but if I were her in that situation, she's devastated because she had just said to him, I always thought that if you're going to marry someone, you would marry me. So she goes back and is like, I wish that I could fix this so that I can be married to him.
Yeah, I see
that
what
would
you
be, like, logically, that would be her wish. And so she goes and wishes for that. That's not, I mean, she doesn't necessarily say, hey, take me back to that event when I'm 13. Like, maybe that's just where the wish took her. She realized where she was, fixed it,
Yeah.
cut up the paper for Tom Tom, walked out, and then was back to her quote-unquote present of being 30. And then she
Yeah.
was married to him instead of the other way around.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see what you mean, and it obviously merits this discussion, obviously.
Yeah.
What's funny is, like, I was thinking, could this just be like a fantasy of her? Like, no, she time traveled because there's Eminem, Madonna, like stuff that she
Yeah, it's
doesn't even
pretty
know.
funny.
Like, she couldn't imagine of cell phones. Like, she was
Yeah.
obviously surprised by
Yeah.
stuff, you know?
hmm
So that's why I think this does count as a time travel movie, because she
Yeah.
does go to 2004.
Yeah, I agree. So the soundtrack for this movie is really great.
Yeah, soundtrack's great.
I liked the scene. It definitely made me tear up. The scene when she goes back home to see her parents the first
that
time.
was sweet.
And she's like crying and she's just happy to see her parents. And like, you felt that when you're just like upset and everything sucks and it's like, and you're young and you're a teenager, you're not going your way and you just like want to see your parents and just feel at home and comfort. So I definitely related to that. And I liked when she asked her mom about if you could do over a mistake in your life, would you? Clearly she does not listen to her mom.
Right.
But I thought her mom basically says, no, I wouldn't do over anything because it got me to where I am and it brought me you and whatever. I felt like Jenna was a very selfish character, even after she was post bitch.
Yeah.
So, because she basically forced Matt's life to where she wanted it to go.
Right.
They grew apart.
Yeah.
And she was like, nope, I want to marry him, so I'm going to change it. I thought that was pretty
she's
selfish.
a 13-year-old.
I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
obviously, you can make the argument that Mark Ruffalo's character, Matt, like, obviously wanted to be with her over all these years, and she wanted to rectify that. But
If
she
he
really
truly-
was.
But if he truly
that's true, yeah.
wanted to be with her, what was stopping him from breaking
Yes.
off the wedding, from breaking up with his fiance? She lived they literally were in a long distance relationship and he still didn't break up with her.
Yeah, good point.
Mhm.
I think that's him feeling young again, being with her, and like he always had a crush on her, so some of those
Right.
feelings probably
It's like nostalgia.
resurfaced. It's nostalgia, yeah.
Yeah, again, get over it, bro. It's been 17 years.
Anyway, so I liked, after kind of like analyzing it this time, I kind of liked this movie less, unfortunately. It's dated, as you mentioned, and just, there's definitely some issues. But if you guys have a opinion, we'd love to hear your opinion on our debate, whether or not the end is a wish or if it's
a cut to
the future of their life together. So...
Any other? I had a couple of other notes. I like the Thriller dance scene. It was fun to see Mark Ruffalo dance to Thriller.
The Thriller.
That was great.
Mm-hmm. It's like a lot of times movies will do, group dance scenes where everyone knows choreography. That one, I think, is one that it gets away with it.
Yeah,
It
everyone
makes
say
sense
it's
because
great.
everyone knows Thriller.
It makes
Even
sense.
I know half those dance moves.
It makes sense enough. It's still a little campy for a movie, but
Right.
it's a rom-com, so it's fine.
It's like an obligation of any 2000s
Yeah.
rom-com movie. There has to be a scene where they either all sing together or dance together.
Yeah. I do also want to say that Jennifer Garner is great, and I love her.
She
and
is
everything.
really funny.
It was
Yeah.
fun seeing her be at 13.
Yeah,
It was a lot of fun.
she does a good job in this. I really like this poster of her with the bubble gum. I think that's really cute.
Yeah,
What were your other notes?
that was it. Just,
Okay.
yeah.
Do you have any other
No,
mentions?
nothing else. Nothing else.
Andy Serkis was fun
Andy Serkis is always fun.
as himself in his own skin.
Yeah,
that
line.
is so strange to say.
Hey, man.
Andy Serkis in his human vessel.
90% of his roles,
Like-
he's another skin.
Was it not a little bit of a stretch when, towards the end, when he asked if Matt's gay, the photographer? He's like, oh, is this photographer? Is he whatever? Is he gay? And she's like, are you gay? And he just laughs. I just thought it was kind of very early 2000s, I guess.
Very early 2000s. I mean, again, like a little dated. The movie's
Yeah.
a little
Also a
dated.
little stereotypical, like, of course this guy would be gay.
He's a magazine. He's
yeah,
like
a fashion
literally the
magazine guy.
fashion magazine editor.
I think
Not that that's a stereotype,
No, not to
but-
get on like a different movie or doing wrapping up 13 going on 30. But I think one movie that is from a while ago that did a good job of like showing homosexual relationships or homosexuals without it feeling dated, even to this day, is Hitch. Hitch. He helps a guy.
Yes.
He helps a guy. He gives a guy a tip who's trying to give another dude tips, and it's just like a very like passing by kind of scene.
Yeah.
Also, there's a scene that's like that scene of Andy Serkis, where Kevin James is talking to the guy, and he's like impressing everyone with his design knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
and he's just like, "Is he gay?" And then he's like, "No, I don't think so." And he's like, "I like him," and it was just, but it's done in a way. It's like he's not asking, "Is he gay?" because I want to have sex with him. He's asking, "Is he gay?" in the sense like he knows a lot about design and fashion. I'm
Yeah.
just curious, and it's. Yes, maybe some people find it a little dated and stereotypical, but it's done in such an endearing way that you can see people, that it feels how people would talk.
Yes.
And so in this movie, it just doesn't feel like how anyone would ever
Like,
come
why
up
does
with
it
approach
matter?
that question.
He's not even in the room. Why does it matter?
Right. Like
Yeah.
he's done nothing to make him think, Andy Serkis to make him
Just
think.
because he's a
gay.
photographer.
Yes, because photographers are
Yes.
stereotypically gay.
Notoriously, yeah. Okay, so we'll do our ratings. So just a quick, we'll just do a general rating since it's kind of a mini episode and the time travel is not really technically time travel, so we'll just do a general overall rating movie and time travel. So, Hyde, why don't you start?
I'll give it a 5. Like, it's watchable. I didn't feel, it's like not, there's a couple of like offensive elements to the adultery, which I think it keeps me from grading it higher. But Jennifer Garner is hilarious in it. Mark Ruffalo's pretty good in it as well. He's pretty charming, as always. And, it's got some pretty good pieces, particularly when Jennifer Garner and Judy Greer are hanging out. There's some really good set pieces. So, 5 out of 10.
Yeah, I agree with the 5. I enjoyed it for a rom-com. It has problems, but it was fun seeing Jennifer Garner being 13. She had 13 best friend. When she was 30, she had a 13-year-old best friend. She had a little sleepover.
Yeah, that
was
was
fun.
cute. Yeah, little creepy. Little creepy.
Sure.
If your 13-year-old daughters were hanging out at a 30-year-old's apartment, but it was fine.
But yeah, it was fun. I give it a 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. Just because it is a movie that is kind of nostalgic for me to watch because I was 14 when that movie came out. I guess 2004, right? Does that math make sense?
Yeah, so it hit close. So it hit close to home.
Yeah, 12 years ago. Yeah, okay, that's right. I was like, wait, how old am I? Yeah, so I related to it. It was definitely the first time I've seen it in a while. It was the first time that I've seen it since I'm like almost 30. So that was strange, but cool. I could relate more to older her than I could when I was younger and saw it. So yeah, 6 out of 10, and the Rotten Tomatoes rating is 64%. So the critics' consensus: the plot's nothing new, but Garner shows a lovable flair for romantic comedies. I definitely agree. I think she's great. She definitely does a good job carrying the movie. So, our next episode, which will be episode 18, is going to be Deja Vu, which was my choice.
Yeah.
This is a movie that I've loved for a very, very, very long time. I actually did a speech in college about the physical sensation of deja vu, or I guess mental sensation. So I love this movie. It's kind of different than that, but it's not like science-y. It's Denzel Washington. It's an action movie. It makes you think. It's great. And it's really fun. It's like a thriller action movie.
Yeah.
With a little bit of mystery. So have you, I know Matt.
Jen showed me this. Yeah, Jen showed me this movie
before we started doing the podcast.
Yeah, before the
Otherwise
podcast.
I would have had you wait.
Yeah, pretty early on in our dating life, I think. Right, it was pretty early on. It was like, oh, this movie is a fun time travel. We should watch it together.
Yeah,
so it was good.
I saw this with my dad and grandmother actually. So we saw Deja Vu.
Cool.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I liked it. You'll probably see I had a couple of issues with it, but I was also watching it in a very different environment. I wasn't watching it in a movie theater. I was watching it at home with my family. And particularly on my dad's side, a lot of people in my family like to poke holes in a movie while it's happening.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, when I make movies and show them, they will poke holes in it while they're watching it.
Wow,
so everyone's always
intense.
like, oh, you want to show your movie to your family? Yeah, because my movie can survive my family watching it. I know it's at least pretty decent. Because they will literally, to my own work, question characters' logic.
Yeah, there's definitely some... and we discussed this, I think, after we watched it. There are some plot holes in this movie for sure. But
it's Denzel and it's Paul Patton.
Yeah, he's...
and Jim Caviezel.
Yeah, and Val Kilmer.
That's
it's
right.
It's Adam Goldberg, and, it's a great cast.
Paul Patton, too. She's good.
Elle Fanning is even in it.
There's some really good...
It's easy to watch.
Yeah, it's a very watchable film, and there's some really cool scenes. So
cool. So, hope you enjoyed our mini episode. And, of course, on social media, we're at Time Travel Trio, on Twitter and Instagram. Facebook, we're the Time Travel Trio Podcast. We're also on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher for free everywhere. So, rate, subscribe, follow us on all of those. Personal, real quick.
I'm Foreman in Space on Twitter and Instagram.
I'm at Jen Marlis.
And I'm Robinson in his hide.
And with that,
we are out of time.